Hi guys and welcome to another video on the swing review annual. This is your review for the episode of Raw last night. So to kick things off, we'll call them the version because the WWE haven't decided on a name yet, and you hear the word the version to describe Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and now as of last you can you can add Bronson Reed to the mixer. So they come out and they basically address the crowd. Heyman actually introduces his his three new clients and he says Braun Breaker on but on main event many of the WrestleManias more WrestleMania 50 Emil Johansson Kevin Owens the crowd sang Owens' theme song as it came out but they started chanting "Fuck you, Rollins," and "You sold out." And Rollins basically said, or Rollins basically he said, "Who sold out?" Oh, you mean I sold out, so to speak. And then he goes on about the vision actually control and power if, um control chaos, and he says the more money in the bank, but if is how I'm going to obtain that, or what I'm going to qualify and win. And the reason why we brought on Reed then is because he had to act me a couple of years ago, and it's what is best for the division. And he's going to dispose of Sammy's in Finn Balor in the main event. All fireweight on in the night. So we go from that. It was basically a very basic promo. You didn't hear Braun Break or Bronson Reed actually say anything. It would have been beneficial for Bronson Reed to actually say something in this promo, considering the two factors here, considering the two factors here that obviously obviously Burrow Onson Reed had just did it on Saturday night's main event and s- uh, and he's just joined the group. It would be good if the explanation came from him. During the promo, they also pull up the fact that they beat Sami Zayn and CM Punk in the tag match, and they make a point of saying CM Punk's not here tonight. Nobody can stop Rollins for among and then the Money in the Bank briefcase. Yeah, that was kinda convoluted, but we'll get to that towards the end of the night. I think the whole sort of um the whole sort of punk entrance maybe would have attempted to take us for a whimsy spot, but we'll get to that when we get to that at the end of the review. But our first contest to the night is Pen um as Pen as Pen Dragon E and tried able to answers actually and and answers actually he say that Chad Gable's in the match tonight. Michael O'Cole actually says how grande Americano and interfere in tonight's proceedings. Pat McAfee um kind of um expands on the whole sort of naive comment is Aaron says maybe it's not that's El Grande you get the idea it's becoming a bit it's becoming a bit formulaic and generic that joke but anyway I good for space action in this match. Chad Gable hits a few super X's, and all three guys get a good amount of offense. And Dragon he hits a king Arnold dive on the outside that knocks off Penta uh, and him over the table. Chad Gable, Chad Gable ducks out the way. Then he Georgia acts with El Hio de Elville and Viking of Chester up away. He obviously puts his hands on Viking and Viking. Oh, which ultimately leads to his own fall, because he are on a Vikingo jumps the barricade, it gives, um, it gives, Chad Gable like a shot, a short kick to the, who Gable's obviously but but he didn't want to breathe. Oh, and then that guy spent enough time to hook him in the pit and to driver to get the win. And I thought this my actual was pretty good. I think 10 minutes is a decent enough for um, for the opening or and obviously the right man won. Um I thought that Penta would have been a presence on that with Ken's action anyway. I was just unsure what pay-per-view special that would be because I know he's a former Triple A guy and Yeah, and I was obviously speculating for a few weeks that it might be on the World's Kill Line. Um, so, but obviously, we now know he's qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match. He joins the field for that, for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And overall, I think it's the right decision. We obviously get confirmation that Viking Gill will be putting on the triple mega heavyweight championship um championship on the line against Chad Gable Orange Killide. It spoils the it spoils the victory he'll get against Alberto El Rio during the week back down in Mexico. Um obviously in this channel we call Del Rio Del Upshit because that's what he is. He's a upshit and he's overrated. So he's full time as Alberto as Alberto Del overrated Del Upshit. I say that I've been saying that for on a years because I don't actually rate him. I think he's a bit of a I think he's a bit of a prick. They are honest, but anyway, enough of that. I do it. He's obviously just dropping the type. Oh, actually, Apple is next ever, and so yeah, the WWE spoiled that um, outcome. I'm sure, I'm sure Ari and you will is absolutely delighted at the fact that Owen McAfee spoiled that out. Um, I think they'll Shot has actually he signed a contract with WWE and I think he'll appear on I think he'll appear on the Orange Killway show anyway at some point you saw him through the triple way he's ours have a you're down with the FNA era NXT but we'll get down etc. So yeah, and they're ramping up for that as well. That's the same day as on in the bank, but we'll cross that bridge and we come to it. In the back, you, you see the you see the judgment day uh, together in the upholsterer Oxan Perel is the airship brings the Dominic Mysterio and another batch of chicken it's um Emma Oxan and says to the Dominic Mysterio or your shoulder looks a bit tight only my asa as it for you and then in comes the of my organ basically and she's like what the hell do you think you're doing and kills in for on to me about Emma kills informed to me about what's been going on etc. Dominic the and said isn't all at once. So I think it's great to see you, but I got the time zones my ex a big etc. So already so he's already starting the excuses because he's got his hand caught in the cookie jar, so to speak. Or of the and says, "I'll you have it right now, you know, of you know, how sorry are going to head to Adam Earce's office to get your money in the bank and qualifying match. But before we can, before we get to the next match, in the back, he sees Amazing, um, he sees Amazing patient and he's all killed, and he said, I shall went, but, I shall went out here and got the retribution for Punk for Saturday. But Jay also said it would be 3 against him on the air, and he would have and the phone huge outlets stick together the two hand they do the two hand shake and yeah the say into the and then we get uh, um and then and we get to the next my actual butchers or serve of else a either Tazawa that's my arch only one um and or serve so like also uh, and the and puts in the kill it and yeah you're okay that's only way some minute but it serves its purpose and yeah and in my opinion this is the right law because none no offense to either Tozawa and Tozawa has been actually relegated um to such a job or is that I don't really think I don't really think anybody should be struggling against because that would be that would be kind of stupid in a sense, especially big and posing guy like yourself who's basically win own since his last or on another company he's became a bit more jacked as well and a bit more wasn't so yeah a guy like Akira Tozawa as height that's more of a arousal and wastes your rest so or should not really be having any offense against a guy that's just come back into the company, and especially a guy that's seen work and is in Pablo. So at this point, everybody now get around on the roster or has beaten either Tizar Even though even though they are at platform he in 2020 and to she even beat Azawa and a skill Oshma that tells you all you need it tells you all you need to know all basically about about how a either Tazawa or Anks in the pecking or or he's probably at the very bottom or on. I'm actually surprised that he still get it's an inch or inch to be honest with you because my arches that short are like uber jobber today. So it's actually he's surprising that he's allowed to keep entrance in music because it's traditionally jobbers don't actually get entrances. But anyway, another another back you see you see two Netflix comedians um which are in Sig Ura whatever place has Sig Ura's that guy that always takes pops at the so in hands and Kathy Hell he actually makes a point and asks, have you actually got over your feud to for a song in the hands? And he is basically like, yeah, I've helped my sin. I'm going to be a bit more respectful of the um of the art for I shouldn't have said to that uh but but he'll be um another and he says he go guys then watch my rapping it for special that nobody in the or or I and or and any European nation also the East took Isaiah I've never heard of them now. If the other also then gets chopped by the Viking or he does before they head out for the match. I really don't hear a lot about the segment. Actually, the only person I hear about is Kathy L. Here, because she is actually talented at her job, but for the rest of the Ozos in this segment, um, I'm really, that for us. It was just a shame of his promotion. And I forgot to actually say in the previous segment, Amos and Rusev had a bit of a confrontation, and that'll be a few, or Rusev in the very near future, but now we head to the Raw Tag Team title defense of made um American made the all right of taking on the new the asthma asthma actually be basically like ultimate arch the crowd will be basically the head for or about half of it. Um um, on like not even half of it, the majority of them, match, basically basically, Anakin made and then you would they were basically teaming up, I get, basically teaming up to eliminate the Warriors. Also, as soon as so soon as Kingston and Woods and the was at Ivor are in the outside and takes out the side lead. He board to the it's attached and to the ring. As soon as they do Stro or Ivor, they basically will eat until Julius or they them finishes off Eric and they basically basically they shove him off the over and get the free count and then the in yeah you will be bit to and yeah the raw tag titles haven't really had a inferior as a whole. I think the SmackDown and else and the belts everybody wants to fight. All the matches are a lot more competitive, but they're all tag belts are so like but or unfair at this point. Like at this point, since like the World Tag Team Championships is called to move brought into existence. Can anybody in the comment section actually tell me what they're all World Tag Team Championships or asked recent feud to or is it or East after SmackDown tag else again good matches, but they're all tag division. There's hardly all that much to it, basically. And I didn't really care for the match. It kinda, it kinda just took, it kinda just was a cool match in the end, even though I like American made, but this was a was a match, but this was a match that you knew and that you knew when like this was only happen was probably the most unpredictable match of the evening, and it's not often against the guys in the ring, even though I do think Eric and Ive are probably a bit past the peak now, to be honest, and you've got the Kiriba brothers who are still offending the American maids, Chad Gable, led faction, and they haven't really done too much with the Kiriba brothers, and unfortunately, because they're both in a heel position. I don't really think I like you attack my match with the new day for the belts with as the new are already a heel, are already a heel you in the anyway, and so it's hard to see, yeah, I mean, Anakin made actually was here, but yeah, I so let me know in the comments section, has there been, has there been a good match for the tag in championships since WrestleMania 4? Because I'm struggling to even remember, like, as I said, the SmackDown tag belts are the belts that everybody wants, basically. But we'll move on from that. As, so one of the back, so on the back, you see one of my organ and Raquel when they bump into Heidi is in the bump into Heidi is in and the um and Ioska I and basically we have makes on a Heidi if all using her or if I am at from in the bank, she then actually says, she then actually says, I'm off now to go and get my mm, oh, fine, eel sky basically is the hands up on a friend, and she says, on thought, or like that, and then Heidi says, I'm challenging you to on match. We'll get to that match momentarily. He offended the next of segments I'll talk about, it, but it could have been a bit better on that match, but we'll get into that eventually. So then we get to the actual host of who's the lead of voice on NXT. He's the main um, he's the main by he he's the main commentator here on the NXT brand, and he's as the new ENA heavyweight champion. NXT superstar Archer Williams will be on NXT with the ENA heavyweight champion uh, on Raw tomorrow night, and he reiterated it's a fact that Trick comes as the um as the as the first act of WWE so or so of the whole a ENA championship. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. I'll probably do a video on what's next for Chirrick Williams and the A's, but until then, let's get back to the on the uh, so outcome so out so outcomes J so now J so a basic a basic a, a basic killer on down what ha- happens Saturday night's main event of um John Cena and Og and Paul. It says so. It says some. He it says he it says somehow. It says somehow. He and Og would um or would before he said but before he could say outcomes and and are actually lots of Romo and he's saying it's very admirable that you stick up and that you stick up for your friends etc. and for your family and the people you hear about etc. Um, but that but that makes it terrible champion emphasizes the reason why he held on to the belt for as long as he did is because he only cares about himself. He doesn't care about the rest. It doesn't care about the rest of it doesn't care about the rest of the loss. Or he only cares about being champions. Jr. Actually, he says I fight for the his equal and for the your support because they even me. I I fight for my family in my for the ends and just I can wrestle me in yeah I'm gonna make it happen again organized also on the eat so basic cow and take in a breakdown as Romo or J so stout Hawking and sour whose basic kill and is basic kill I will I win the fans to still chant I'm after every sentence comes out and that's even after he said and that's even after he was it off and you're like that will now kind of speed up here and kind of speed up what you're saying, don't you have them the opportunity as you keep pausing um on it. So like and these are trying to instill a variety areas per homo. It's kinda on you actually speed up the per home. Oh, and but yeah, but yeah, this again didn't really, this again didn't really and as well as it should have done. I think Jay so as a like about but I just don't want actually. I'm just not convinced he is at that main event or evil. I mean, I do actually think he's cool, but like some guys just don't belong in the picture and having people like Logan Paul and, and or actually magnify it by mentioning it in a promo every single week really doesn't help that perception of it. It just basically he says to me that even WWE aren't that confident in his ability. He, and he's not had a paper of the title defense since actually and in the title he's going to be in a tag match with Otero once against John Cena and Logan Paul at Money in the Bank. And there's no titles at stake, obviously, in that match because obviously both champions in that match are singles world champions, so that doesn't actually eh, he's not had a proper title defense, and people will actually say, "Oh, Saturday night's main event is a big title defense," and I'm like that, and I'm like that. Yeah, and yeah, kinda is, but it's not a pay-per-view special. It's an NBC. It's an NBC special. It's a network televised special. So that's not a pay-per-view because it's on um because it's on satellite being in the US, so like it doesn't really count as a pay-per-view or a premium live event as a billion a billion oh but I oh a pay-per-view because I'm a traditional as fan, so yeah but yeah. Let's move on. So it's now and Kylie is seen versus all of Horn and obviously the match with the door of Malk and or match but for them for a minute they were lieutenant to Ilm movie in Japan. And apparently it was a really big or overall of my on in what anyway the this but anyway, this match was actually um this match was actually not very good. I mean, it started off okay with the chop exchanges, etc. It started off at a good pace, but there was a couple of botches towards the end. Our Oxa and Perez comes out to try and help Paul of Morgan as she Ox as she attempts to Ox idea of the Hawk Hawk obviously here the killed Jerry Gazes at the inside so she came out with a tag in championship. No, of more in Bubba or Oxan Perez and Ricky Elder and Jerry Gazer in the middle of a conversation at inside an argument obviously well if it's a still Ethan Kyrie is saying the rules are up for on a free count a pretty or up I don't know if it's a ring or I don't know if it's a ring or on the part of Liv Morgan because she's been big or she's been over in Japan filming this movie. Um, or the two didn't all else get or I do enjoy Office Wrestles, but the chemistry I don't but the chemistry I don't think was 100. It's I don't think the chemistry was 100%. Was 100% here, and then for optional you got what you did. Or obviously it was very it was very origin based match. So obviously there are Oxan interference obviously either Oxan interference had some happened to continue the story to cause further tension in the judgment. Eh, um, so that element, so that element was okay. But the rest of it, I thought, the rest of it, I thought it was a bit of a mess and sad, really, and sad, really, even though I enjoy both wrestles and I enjoyed both wrestles. I don't think this match was very good in all honesty, but yeah, you win and some you lose some guys, but in the back, um, in the back, you see, and you see Chad Gable um, and back he see trying able to even read verbal others us and even now our extra it just ISIS the kid it's for it just the kids for using the tag a oh opportunity and then you get another confrontation with like and oh and essentially um and essentially you can't understand what the Viking was saying because the majority of it is in Spanish, but then he says I'll see you or to kill and um AJ Styles none of Chad Gable's bow off and he said and that's for Austin me my that's for costing me a shot that I see a oh and I think you might be eating again and I'm so over all AJ gets his revenge for last eat and AJ gets his revenge for the last couple of weeks. Obviously, yes, El Chad Gable lost him the um um obviously El Chad Gable lost Adrian Penn the tag and the tag match ends to um the judgment he um so obviously so obviously that's the continuation of that. What I read it just seems to me that Chad Gable was building upon his enemies at some point, and it'll probably it'll probably lead to his own fall when the Triple get a heavyweight championship match with the I think and what I uh, um I think because he's so and as himself I think they'll guarantee the Americano will still off will continue to round about summer so or even Crown Jewel but he but tried he will be the so and as himself so he gave him Oreo Grande Americano or stuff to come in the future so you get or either of area out and you get or either of area out to uh, uh, um oh oh put an extension and what happened but I kill Ash and the basic skill is she says Becky and she's so eager as I'm so eager as oh so undeniable there was no also satisfaction in me getting the victory and retaining my I went back home hash break if and she can hold me in others own out comes Becky and sh- and she's and she says too I like you may have on um you may have on the tag type you may have on the IC type at back so hash but I'll and then or and then and she said she got to go home if her handsome husband delivered you 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 got to go out in the hospital with your oh and husband and and then I a basic is said mo I the basic is said to Malawi your husband's the best part about you. Eh, and obviously that isn't indeed be like a job, but nobody in the crowd is interested. So it didn't really, so it didn't really, if I are out with like, no, so obviously, but, uh, he actually, he, he's out some appeal. He shins that, um, uh, um, if she be, eats home, either, for the, if she beats her, either for the belt, or either has her, is her hand in victory, or either, says, is, I've had no problem, or is in my opponent's hand in victory, it hasn't been, uh, ever, eh, of this one is L of song is well but either ends as if I can for your I see L a virtual L for the L again on the virtual just for on it. So obviously it sets up the Rima match from on in the bank and obviously yeah, I think Becky and she'll come out openly match and um and only it to the end of the trilogy at summer. So and obviously Hyla gets a back and basic kill him. Obviously you his help um because I think she'll be back back at SummerSlam, and she'll want to basically, she will want to basically get the engine Becky and for the at WrestleMania. Yeah, but okay, so then we get um okay, so then we get to about old up park each way that's a venue and it's a and yet or 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 they are up is into the is to the on in the bank towards them arch competitive as the be yum is finally and on in the bank towards arch and she's all is on all and she said and she then gives out on book of Anthony is Stratton and Eos High and she basically says you better get a spawn to those tight those routes right because coming in for all the numbers and as I capture on in the bank a decent enough Romo and I think Rhea is the favourite for the moment on in the bank brief is because she's never shy she's never far away from the title picture or and yeah and she's obviously my favourite of the women's of a as you know the Raw at the moment and but yeah, but we'll just have to see. I know this way. I know this way, right before the main event happens. You see, you see, Aring or watching a conversation of Sami Zayn, um, um, and he says, "I told you you should have taken you to join Seth for all." And Sami said, "Yeah, well, whatever I've got a match tonight, all with fire, the year, or he says, you if you wait or on, having or actually the on actual it is on genuine you're never going to win the title. Oh, and all this one is Sami Zayn was picked around. And then you get the in event as if all and Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor on them. And now get it's a spot in the ends on in the bank quad. Match obviously obviously you get back and forth battle in the frame and obviously it heats up to on second to the match Sami Zayn hits his phenomenal ability with on obviously human and some out ring Dominic Mysterio shows up. Um, Dominic Mysterio shows up and he, he, he so hides in a chair and during assist Finn Balor and um and before Finn can kind of grab onto the chair several and hits a hubs um onto the um onto Finn Balor or onto the chair bow for all and gets the league down and again as continues the judgment. He the judgment the ascension obviously um obviously Sami Zayn gets eaten up on the outside by non Buddy on but on it um um unbreaking but concentrated the way in is is armies in outside yeah hunks and music cats and um obviously um and obviously the old go in the ramp to cut him off but predictable. You see him Punk jumps about like he into the other and hits um um and hits for the all in some of the G. Yes, and then and as and as um as soon as a henchman get try and get Punk is already he jumped into the or out and up the stairs and to get on from potential injury and yeah that can oh, injury episode overall guys I don't think that this was particularly the most exciting episode a couple of the matches I felt a bit off in terms of entertainment value. There of Morgan and Kylie is saying match. I don't think there is any mystery and, and but I didn't actually and didn't actually enjoy the tag and didn't actually enjoy the tag. I oh mm, match easy or I think it was about predictable. Oh and also a couple with the normal was I felt are a bit off, but in terms of the judgment, the story I'm enjoying the whole sort of character development up and yeah, that's what kind of saves in the show about that and the show opening or and obviously the main event. So yeah, given it's Rob Williams, um, I'll give this each episode of a 5.5, so pretty much in the mid. Oh, I'll give points off, or I'll, and the reason is for that, as the promos and a bit off, and I've kind of spoiled the Triple M got a match between Viking and Viking or and Alberto El Yo for this e and also um and also in terms of the or emotional of Morg and either same match, but overall the judgment story is kinda is kinda interesting. So so it's gives it yeah, but and yeah, 5.5 is a reasonable amount. But yeah, guys, this is my order review. You will let me know your opinions, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hit hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and um and kind of chat on in on action.